Hello, hello, and welcome back to another great episode of You Are the Masterpiece. If this is the first time you are tuning into this podcast, it's all about just giving you a lot of inspiration and confidence that we do not have to be perfect. We just have to take an effort because whatever we are doing in life, just understand that we are the work in progress and we are the masterpiece at the same time. And I just also wanted to share the exciting news because yesterday was my birthday, and a lot of people said happy birthday to me, and I truly, truly appreciate each one of you. And for that matter, I offer a $50 off on my amazing manifestation vortex experience. So the link is in the comment. Please check it out because once you tap into that experience, once you know exactly what you want and how to work with your vision, you'll see your manifestation is going to be supercharged big time. And today I have a beautiful guest, Jillian Verdun, who is going to have a powerful conversation with me. Jillian, just introduce yourself and say a couple of words what you are doing.
Hello, my dear. Thank you. I appreciate you having me here today. I am Jillian Verdun and I own JMV Financial Services. I help my clients to simplify their finances.
I love what you share. And Jillian was on my last summit,
Mhm,
which was all about elevate your money mindset. And I
mhm.
love to continue that conversation, right? Because
Yes.
today we are having this powerful topic of unlocking financial clarity for entrepreneurs. All
Yes.
right, let's just dive in. What are the things that the business owners are facing when it comes to finances?
A lot of people, when it comes to their finances, one thing that they struggle with is not having a framework or any type of system in place,
Mhm.
first and foremost. Secondly, is managing inconsistent income and being able to pay yourself.
Mhm.
And third, but not last, which is mostly the most important, is mindset.
Mhm.
Um, what happens is when it comes to framework, I tell people, I'm like, just use a simple framework. It People believe that, oh, all I have to do is make more money. And if I make more money, then everything else will be great. And I tell them it doesn't matter if you make more money. If you make $50,000 or $500,000, you're still the same kind of broke.
Mhm.
It's about organization.
I love
And
that share. Mhm.
yes, it's based on the idea that every dollar has a purpose, a clear purpose. Because if you don't organize or manage what you currently have, if I give you $100 and you go off and you spend it, and I'm like, irresponsibly, what happens? I'm not going to give you $1,000 because you're going to do the same thing.
Mhm.
So it's like, no, you got to have some type of system where you are controlling your money, not your money controlling you. Because we're all so many in this situation where our money is controlling us and telling us where it wants to go. And
Mhm.
that's not what we need. Um, I advise my clients and I implement what we call a 4 bucket system. You have a income bucket, so all of the money that you earn goes into that one bucket. And then now you can strategically allocate that money out to the other 3 buckets, which are operating, which is what you use to run your day to day. Uncle Sam, your taxes, because so many people forget about him, but he does get his portion of the money as well.
Mhm.
And then profit slash pay. Because I hear so many people say, oh, well, I don't pay myself. And they get frustrated with their business. But you didn't go into business to work for yourself and you're not paying yourself. I mean, I don't know how many people like to work for free, but I know I don't. Do you?
Mhm. No, absolutely not.
I was like, because that's why you get up every morning is to go to work to get paid. right? At the freedom on how you want to. With that simple scenario, so let's say you made $5,000. With the 4 bucket system, let's say 1,500 goes to operating, 1,000 goes to taxes, 1,000 goes to profit, and then the other 1,500 goes, guess where? As your paycheck. You
Right.
have to be able to pay your own bills. So it is
Mhm.
very simple to allocate that out. We use percentages versus dollar amounts when it comes to the 4 bucket system, because when you have, like I mentioned, mindset. So if I say, hey, you have to pay yourself $1,500 every time you earn income, and let's say you didn't have $1,500 that came in, now you feel like you're
Mhm.
failing because you didn't have enough money to allocate the 1,500 to yourself. But if I say, hey, allocate 50% of whatever income comes in, guess what happens? That shifts your mindset, and it's more on a positive note versus reflecting on the negative that, oh, well, I didn't make enough money to pay myself this time.
I
So
love that.
it's the little simple shifts that I tell people to do. Um, and everybody's like, well, what if, because I know, for example, with my business, January to April is usually pretty much busier for me than the summer months. Now, during the summer months, I could be eating ramen because my income is not as consistent as it is during the January to April or August through the last December. Those are my busy months. So if you're seasonal, this is where it comes to how you organize your money and still being able to pay yourself with inconsistent income cycles.
I
Because
love
everybody's like, how do you do that? Right.
that. So tell what to start from somebody who is just running their business without much
Mhm.
assistance or without much, like realizing how to do it properly. What is the first step for them to start from?
Develop some sort of system. Figure out what amount of money, if you're into business for yourself, and let's say you're still working and you're transitioning into going full time into your business. A lot of times we don't pay attention to what we should be paying ourselves, because I get that question a lot. Well, how much should I pay myself? I don't know. What are your bills? Have you looked at them? We don't look at our money. We're
Mhm.
afraid to look at our money. So, in order to determine how much you need to pay yourself, you actually have to figure out what your monthly bills are. I tell people it's a matter of just creating a habit versus going out and saying, okay, I got to figure this out today. No, start creating a habit, start small. So if you set up your income account and say, all right, every money that comes in, I'm going to take 1 to 2% and put it aside. It's like when you start to work out or decide you're going to do weight loss and you want to lose weight, you say, okay, well, I'll start drinking more water during the day. So you start with the one thing and then you expand on that once that habit has been developed. And it's the same thing. You have to figure out what are your profitable habits for you to be able to expand on. So start small. And who told you you're wrong? Nobody but yourself.
Mhm. I love that.
Mhm.
All right. So, any other tips that you can give the audience so they can just, like start? Because I always love to give people the tips. And then again, not to say that the help is not available here, because
Mhm.
again, if somebody wants to go deeper, they really can reach out to you
Yeah.
and, have the consult and see where they are on their journey so you can help them with that.
Yes. Basically, I tell my clients to look at your finances as a tool, especially money, for growth. Recognize what do you tell yourself about money?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Once you begin to view your money as a tool to create freedom, everything shifts. So the first thing that I tell people is to really identify, what do you tell yourself when it comes to money? And once you can identify what that is, you can shift that by making that into a positive mindset of some sort and say, hey, I'm no longer going to think of money as a stressor. I'm going to think of it as a tool for growth.
I love that.
Yep. And so the biggest thing I tell people is to basically, financial organization, start early. Some people say, oh, well, I don't need, I don't need a system. I don't need QuickBooks. I don't need any of this stuff right now. But if you're able to start at the beginning with it, it allows you to grow. So then you don't have to set it up once you're fully functional as a business owner, because you've already created the habits. So as your money grows and as you grow, so does your systems that you already have in place because you started small.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the allocation step. I tell people, take it and start with allocating your money out, creating anywhere from 1 to 3 accounts. Everybody looks at me like, oh my God, you want how many bank accounts? I know it's not the best thing ever, but identify what that is and start there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That is so clever. You know what? I also wanted to touch on the point of mindset, because this is something that very, like connected with me.
Mhm.
Because first of all, just, to cheer you for stepping out of the corporate world, like what did make you to step away from the corporate and start running your own business? Can you just share a little bit about that?
Sure. Um, I I was glutton for punishment. I actually started my practice in 2007, and I was still working for corporate. And I didn't decide to leave my corporate job until August of 2015. Um, because what I started to realize was I was doing myself a disjustice as well as my clients. Um, because I got to the point where I wasn't able to manage doing everything anymore. And so I had to make a decision on, is this something truly that I want to do? I got tired of hearing people say, well, I wish I would have known, or I need to find a resource that I trust when it comes to my finances and things of that nature. And so I knew I could help so many more people doing what I do if I was to quit my corporate job. Now, that was a big
Mhm.
shift for me because my mindset tells me that I have to have some sort of income coming in. It doesn't matter where it comes from. And so I teach part time as an adjunct. And so
Mhm.
I have my checks that come through that make me feel better because I know
Mhm.
that's coming. Um, and I only work like on a semester basis. So I can manage my business. So 2016 was the first full year that I was 100% self-employed. Um, and it did shift a lot. It does make you look at things a little bit differently. The freedom is amazing. And the biggest thing for me is when you are an entrepreneur, when it comes to stress and recognizing the things, my responsibility of myself, because I have 2 people that work for me. I'm not only responsible for my family and my household, I'm also responsible for my team
Mhm.
because they've worked for me and they need to get paid. And so if you are that person and you're responsible, so you're adding to your stressor and everything else that you have going on outside of just figuring out how to manage to maintain your own financial situation. You're managing somebody else's as well because you have their livelihood at stake. So
Mhm.
it makes you get up in the morning and want to do better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love, how you reframed, you said, rather thinking about the money as the stressor, think about it
Mhm.
as the tool to create your freedom, right?
Yep.
Because we do not want money for the sake of money. We want
Nope.
money to be able to do what matters to us, to be able to enjoy and to be able to contribute to the causes, right? Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people do not even see beyond that. Like
Mm-mm.
when I talk to my potential clients and they say, you know what, I'm good, I have
Mhm.
enough money, I don't need more, right? And my
Yep.
next question is like, think beyond just yourself, right?
Correct.
If you start earning more money,
Mm-hmm.
you start having more charities,
Yep.
contribution to this world, right? Because
Yes.
the world is really, like the world is calling us for
Mm-hmm.
something greater, for something bigger. And if the person is at the capacity that they can contribute
Yep.
to whatever cause is meaningful
It's a
for them.
blessing. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So that's the way you look at money, right? So the
Yes.
idea is money give us the freedom, and money is very welcome because they can change this world to be a better place.
Right. And I tell people, if you notice a lot of entrepreneurs who have been out in the industry for a while, that's the one thing that they do. Once they get to a certain size, they develop a nonprofit or some type of philanthropic element to their businesses. So they are able to give back. And
Mm-hmm.
that's their goal. They use it to help empower other people that are probably needing it more so than them. And
Mm-hmm.
when you do that, then that shows that you have gratitude and you're grateful for what you have that you're willing and able to share with others. So,
Mm-hmm. And it just reminds me of the universal laws, because remember, when
mhm,
we are given to others, we are given to ourselves.
yep.
Because a lot of times we might give our time, our services, money to one category of people, but we never know how the blessings come back to us,
Mhm.
right? As long as we are keeping open, but it always works because there is a law of circulation. That
Yes.
means what you give, you're going to receive,
Receive.
right?
Hmm.
And the more you understand how it works, the more you start seeing that this is at work all the time, right? And there is also that law of tithing, where they say
Hmm.
10% of the money that you are generating, you put it back into the charity,
Yep.
because then again, that money is going to come back to you
Gonna
in
come
the
back.
most unexpected ways, right? So
Yep.
the idea is, like, when we talk about money on the energetic space, you cannot just keep the money and not
Mm-mm.
do anything with them, right? So
Nope.
money is the energy, and
Hmm.
we learn how to work with that so we can have more of it and we can bless others.
Yes, yes. It's funny you say that. I had a client of mine that I was working with, and we were implementing this system. And in order for the system to work for her, we that was one of the first things when her income came in, she wanted to make sure that she tithed
Mm-hmm.
up front, and then she allocated everything else to what she wanted it to be. You can't tell people where they want to go with their money. And I tell them, I was like, you have to put them, because everybody's like, oh, what's the magic formula? What's the pill? What do I need? And I'm like, there's not one. It's your business. You set it up
Mm-hmm.
the way that you feel that it feels fit for you and your lifestyle. And
Mm-hmm.
one that you're actually going to use. It's like
Right.
implement a system that you're going to use. And that was one of the biggest things, was her giving. And so many people can sit here and say, oh, well, you give and you barely have anything for yourself. You can't tell somebody what they can and cannot do with their money. um she feels that, hey, if I give this, then I'm going to end up benefiting on the end.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And I love what you said, because again, for each person it's something different,
Mhm,
right? So there is no such a thing as right or wrong. We can
mhm.
teach the strategies, we can teach systems, we can teach the laws, but again, everybody is going to create their own results and to create their own magic. So whatever person is tuning into, that's what is good for them.
Correct. Yes. And I try to tell that to people because I can teach you how to implement what you wanting and how to structure it to work for you. But I
Mhm.
can't just say, oh, here is the number one answer and the tool that you need that will solve all your money problems.
Mhm.
It's not how that
Awesome.
works.
Right. So, what is your biggest tip that you can give for the people? So, what I heard you saying, it doesn't matter whether you're just starting your business or you've been in the business. Start with the right tools, with the right system. So, as you expand, your business expands, you can also implement more things in your business. Correct?
Correct. Yep. The more you know, the less power money has over you. Educating yourself about your numbers will transform them from a source of stress to a source of opportunity.
Awesome. And if you were to leave the audience with something, like magical, something that they can start doing right as after this episode, what would it be? What would you tell them?
You have the power to take over your finances and make them work for you. The path to profit isn't about working harder, but working smarter and aligning your systems and your mindset to give you that sustainable growth.
Yeah, I love that. This is super, super important. So I think the most important thing for people to make a decision, right? Because
Yes.
once everybody makes the decision, that's where everything starts to
Mhm.
showing up.
Yeah.
And what I invite everybody to do, connect with Jillian and see, are you offering the free consult? What is something that you're offering?
Yes, I am. I can offer a free consult if they choose to. They can go and schedule a one-on-one session with me. I am also launching a Jumpstart 12 Profit Accelerating Coaching Series, and this focuses on the 12 highest impact profit strategies in the business. Um, it's a 1 hour weekly session that happens on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. That they can join. And then I have an additional implementation call that I do on Thursdays to help them. Basically, once you learn on Wednesday, we implement it on Thursday.
Awesome. Yeah, so that's a great start. So for everybody who is tuning in, you have the contact information for Jillian.
Mhm,
Connect with Jillian. Say that you were watching this episode
mhm.
and you would love to have the consult or more information about the new product that Jillian is launching. And again, everything is in our hands.
Yes.
We are never helpless if we are searching for help. And the power of ask, I can't just emphasize how important it is not to just sit and be with the problem by yourself, but
Mhm.
talk to people, ask people, because somebody already has the solution for you. All it takes from you is to ask, because again, we never meant to do this alone. We
Mhm.
meant to do it together, and together we are the superpower. So,
Yes.
for everybody who wants more out of life, who wants to understand their finances in order to build their successful business, just connect with Jillian and let's create the magic.
Yes.
Thank you so,
Thank
so much,
you.
Jillian, for coming in today, for sharing, and for everybody who is watching this episode. Connect with Jillian. Also, register for my amazing 2 hour experience where you go inside of that vortex and create exactly what your soul is calling you for. And even if you do not know what it is, just trust the process because you are going to discover these kind of meetings really has the magic inside of them, because you might come clueless what is there for me to do, and you are going to step into that vortex where everything is going to flow and you'll leave enlightened, you leave with clarity, and you know exactly what is something that you want to call in your life.
And she is
Okay,
amazing. Look,
yeah,
and she is amazing.
thank
I'm gonna put
you,
that plug out there.
thank you,
So
thank
yes,
you.
yes, what you told me was very helpful. So
Awesome. I'm super excited. All right. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Thank you so much, Jillian, for coming
you're
in,
welcome.
and come back to any future episodes because I'm sure there is more that you can share with the audience. And for everybody, have a great and blessed day. Bye.
Bye.